The sad part about this case with Lindsay Clancy is that she took the lives of 3 kids, and the sad part about this is she not only did that, but she also is making her painting herself to look like she's crazy, and you got people protesting. Not talking about the kids. Bunch of women outside of a courthouse dressed in pink, being supportive. 3 kids are gone, but they're being supportive of a woman that killed all 3 of her kids, sent her husband off, planned everything. You can see that she planned everything, but still has a reasoning why she did it. They're making the reasons for her.
There's no dispute that Lindsay Clancy was suffering from mental illness and that she tried to kill herself. There's no dispute about that. All of the evidence that you've heard, even the experts that the Commonwealth put before you, say that she was suffering from mental illness and she tried to kill herself. That's not the issue in this trial. The issue is whether, at the time she killed Cora, Dawson, and Callan, she knew the difference between right and wrong, and whether she could conform her behavior to the requirements of the law. And even if you believe that the number of different medications she took over that time or the combination of those medications affected her negatively, after McLean, they were out of her system. Some of them had been out of her system for months. Zoloft she stopped in October. Other pills she stopped in November or December. And that last one, the Seroquel, that she really had a bad reaction to, is out of her system. Every doctor she saw, from Tufts in September all the way through Tufts at January 23rd, none of them saw any signs of psychosis ever.
I'm gonna let this finish out, but another thing you got to think about too about this situation. She not only took all these medications, but if you notice, she was in the medical field. That's one. She understands how medications work. She understands the ramifications of doing certain things. She's privy. She's getting help. She also understands who to go to. She also was going around searching for multiple doctors. To me, it seems like she was building something up to make it look like that she's crazy. That's why she was trying to probably involve so many doctors so it can look very confusing. Let's be honest. You know what you're doing, you know what you're taking. The nurse, she provides medication to patients. She understands this. You know she understands this. But for some odd reason that these 3 kids got unalived and all of a sudden the husband's being blamed for something where he wasn't even there. He not only wasn't there, but he also provided a bunch of assistance with what she was going on. Like everything that she had going on in her life, he still like it's damn near she was being baby. But for some odd reason, she still found a way to try to manipulate the system. But when they do the studies and they do the tests on her and they find out that a lot of these things were not even in her system because they don't linger in her system like that. But it's portrayed as if I was crazy and I seen things and hey, I'm not in her head, but for some odd reason you got a lot of people outside protesting and a lot of people around the world, women, that's making so many excuses why she shouldn't get off.
So they're all wrong? All these different doctors and all these different practices, they're all collectively together wrong? Mothers kill their children, and it's horrible and it's awful, but it happens. So why did she specifically do it? She was depressed. She was exhausted. She was done. She didn't want to try anymore. She felt damaged. But those kids were her protective factor. Those kids were keeping her from ending her misery. And so she had to remove the protective factor. And I'm not saying she was happy about it. I'm saying that it was what she had to do to end her misery. But it was a choice. She didn't see them in that moment as individual human beings with rights, with dreams, with futures. She killed them, and she left them there on the floor with the bands around their necks. She didn't bring them up to their beds and put them with their favorite stuffed animal and cover them up gently and lovingly, leaving them peacefully there. No. She left them discarded on the basement floor like broken toys because she was done playing the game. You know to a moral certainty. She is guilty.
Damn. See, this the sad part. Oh my God. Mm, I'm gonna tell you, man. To off your kids, that's one thing. But to actually off your kids and all of a sudden you just don't like it. Oh damn, dog.
If she had tried,
I don't know. I don't know, man. Let's see what the closing arguments are because damn, dog. I'm gonna be real. Ugh.
to strangle one in front of the other, they would have known this is bad. And they would have tried to intervene or run and hide. And she had a very limited time. She didn't have time to try to find a child who ran off and hid. So taking Dawson first and moving him to a separate room, having Cora stay with Callan and having Dawson go in another room, that's rational. That makes sense. That's ordered thinking. And we didn't show you that post that she made about Dawson being a handful and not being compliant to show she was a bad mom. We showed it to you because it proves she knew that he was a handful. She knew that he was less likely to be compliant, to just go along. She knew that he might struggle. And so it made sense rationally to remove him and separate him first and kill him first. And she brought him into that room, into the office, and closed the door. And she wrapped that band around his little neck. And she squeezed until he was unconscious. As the blood's pooling in his face and causing those blood vessels to burst, causing him pain and panic and confusion. And defense calls Dr. La Posada to say, no, it wasn't 20 or 30 seconds. It was only 5 or 10 seconds until he went unconscious. I'm sorry, how many seconds is it okay for them to have been in pain and panic and confusion? How about it wasn't okay for 1 second for any of those children to feel that? And they all felt it, all for up to 30 seconds. And then she continued strangling their limp bodies for 1 to 2 minutes to make sure they were dead. Deliberate.
Damn. When you listen to this more into detail, I did not know she separated. And I'm gonna be real with you, man. I'm gonna be honest. My son is 8, smart as hell. There's no way in hell, even when he was 5 and 6, that he would watch something and not go off and put up a struggle. She damn sure did. To me, think this out. It don't look like someone, but I'm not a doctor. But at the end of the day, you see some crazy things, but you don't normally see somebody plan something out unless they're looking to plan it out to actually execute. And it looked like she planned this out to execute all her kids because it's the way she thought it out and separated the kids. God damn.
Premeditation, and then extreme atrocity and cruelty. The indifference that she showed to their pain, to their struggle, to their suffering, leaving them there on the floor with the bands around their necks, completely indifferent because she had a plan and she was following it through. Just think of that. the being strangled and the pain and the confusion that they're going through, and it's being done by their mom.
Damn, yo.
Their mom is the one that's hurting them. Their mom is the one that's killing them. That's extreme atrocity and cruelty. She didn't see them in that moment as individual human beings with rights, with dreams, with futures, individually belonging to them. You heard about the three kids. Cora wanted to be a doctor and a mom. Dawson wanted to be a firefighter. Helen never got the chance to dream. Who knows what future he would have dreamed for himself? She killed them, and she left them there on the floor with the bands around their necks. She didn't bring them up to their beds and put them with their favorite stuffed animal and cover them up gently and lovingly, leaving them peacefully there. No. She left them discarded on the basement floor like broken toys because she was done playing the game. You know to a moral certainty, she is guilty.
You know what's crazy about this? The father, the dad, the husband, done lost a whole family. The energy you put into your family is gone all because the person you decide to procreate with decided to have a different change of heart. It's the sad part about reality, man. That hurts. Damn. Hey, man, my heart goes out to these kids, man, and to the father. Like and subscribe. Y'all be safe out here.